Welcome to another episode of Tapped In with Tony. I am your host, Tony Bogan, and tonight joining me is one of the rising up and coming content creators in Northeast Ohio. He's already got 15K followers and counting. Did a lot of stuff for Garfield last season, and he's on the AAU circuit quite a bit. Tommy Kevern, aka TK Productionz, joins us. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me on, Tony. I've been watching Tony now for since I started, and I've everything you've done with your interviews to your game recaps to just being in the basketball community is just great.
Yeah.
Glad.
Yeah, it's a big community. The basketball community is really big. They say basketball's a not just a game around the city and state, but around the globe. It's a global game.
For sure. And there's just so much fun. Like I mean, the community in basketball is just amazing. It's by far my favorite sport to shoot, and I just had a great year just shooting it. Great 2 years shooting it. I started just filming it, and it's definitely been my favorite to film.
So tell us about yourself, Tommy. Where are you from? For people who don't know.
So I am 17. I'm a junior at Riverside High School. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, I go to Riverside High School in Painesville, and basically I started filming about a year and like 2 months ago. It was the start of last high school season, so about a year and 3 months ago, and basically I just started filming off lower schools and everything like that, and I kind of worked my way up into bigger things, more bigger games, because like where I'm from, Painesville, we got basketball schools all over. We got like Perry, Menor, you got Riverside, obviously. We have I mean North, South are kind of close. Geneva is on the other side, Madison's on the other side, and those are great, great schools to watch. But what I realized is not all those schools have that great fan base that the city kind of provides. So as I started going down more to different games in like the Cleveland area, Garfield, Cleveland Heights, Maple Heights, is when I kind of started taking a turn, and it really definitely boosted my thing. And now I'm at where I'm at now. So it's just that's kind of like where what I'm about and where I started and how I kind of got to where I'm at.
Great. And what got you involved with starting? How did you get involved? Like starting with Riverside.
Yes, for sure. So it's kind of a couple two there's kind of two different, actually, like kind of like three different sides of the story. So one reason was about, what was it? It was 2 years ago. My friend was playing. My friend Lucas, he goes to Gilmore. He was playing at the eighth grade final down in Augusta, Georgia, which is like connected with like the Peach Jam, like So we would go after his games. We'd go watch the Peach Jam games. Watch that was the year Jared McCain, Bronny, all of them played. So we'd go over and watch all of them. So there was this one game. It was early in the morning. Uh, it was like an 8 o'clock game. I think it was. I don't remember if I think it was Bronny's game, and we got great seats, front row, and we sat by this photographer. And I was asking him, I'm like, dude, like, can I see your pictures and everything? So he showed me scrolling through at like timeouts and stuff, and I was like so like engaged in it, and I loved like what he could do with his camera. And I was asking him details about it, and I was like, so like, how do you like, what do you do? I mean, like, but is this your full-time gig? He's like, yeah, I travel all over the country with this team. And I'm like, man, like I love to travel, like that's just awesome. So I just kind of kept that in mind. I never really engaged in it. A couple months go by, and I was a freshman, I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I was a sophomore. I was a sophomore. So couple go past. I was a sophomore, and we had basketball tryouts coming up. So I was going to all the open gyms for our school and all that type of stuff. So when tryouts came along, I was trying to make the team. And unfortunately that year I didn't make it. So I'm like, dang. I wasn't all like I played basketball when I was younger and everything. I kind of took a break from it, but I wanted to get back into it. But when I didn't make it, I was like, dang. So like I just love basketball. So I'm like, how can I still stay involved in this without, being on the team? And I was like, I kind of thought back and I'm like, dang, maybe I could do that. So it kind of started off like that. And that's kind of how I took that. Another different side of the story too is my my uncle is a photographer in the Northeast Ohio area. So it it like kind of worked out too. He helped me out from the start. So that was another big plus advantage I had was I had help from peers and from family. So yeah, that was another great way that I started off doing this.
Awesome, man. And I know I saw some of your videos. I mean, you documented last season, you documented Riverside winning the Western Reserve Conference. I know they had a bit of a down year this year, but
Yeah.
tell me what that experience was like getting to document a little bit of the day to day in a way.
Yeah, so that's when I first started off. One of my friends, Gavin and one of my other good friends, Landon, we all went to Gavin's house. It was after a school day. We had the idea to kind of film like a day in the life of like the basketball team. So I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it. So I mean, this was like my first video. It was on my first camera. The quality wasn't good. The video, like I'm looking back now, it could use some work, but it was great. Great first video. So being able, I mean, this was like my first year, so being able to kind of experience like a fun moment like that, being able to document the whole day going up to winning that championship, it was great. Like I loved doing it. And it was great to kind of give Riverside that look they don't get. You don't have many cameramen at Riverside, and if you do, it's like just the News Herald or like something like that. You don't really have the freelance dudes giving them the love, like you do. You cover a lot of like the smaller schools, give them that love, and Riverside didn't have that at the time. So I wanted to kind of give a little bit of like showcase to their team.
Yeah, and Riverside's kind of in that territory where it's like it's far from Menor. People are gonna see like they're gonna go up there. They'll be like they'll go to Menor. Will it be South, East, like North? Because it's close by Ashtabula. And at the same time, like outside of really there, like there are a lot of schools like that have talented kids. Like
Yeah,
Jefferson made the state final four in football last year.
yeah,
They didn't get like a lot of love. Like Madison,
and
they won. Yeah,
yeah, Chardon's they make it far in football every year.
yeah. And so talk to me about also filming the AAU circuit. You filmed a few players in the AAU circuit, and you also filmed a little bit of stuff for Gilmore Academy.
Yeah, so last year I traveled with TNBA team, and that was great. I be the first right off the jump. I became friends with like a whole team. We had a great year. We were it was a TNBA team, so we went to a lot of the hoop group tournaments around there, and that was great, man. It was like it was so fun. We would go out, explore like the new cities we'd go to. I'd film all those events. Like we would like it was everything about it was fun. The team, everyone just connected so well. And it was just like it was like a family. It was awesome. We'd every weekend we'd be like in Indiana, Pittsburgh, kind of like we travel a lot. And it was great just because I've never really experienced that before, and being able to do that with a team full of kids I liked, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah. Travel is really one of the more fun parts,
Oh,
especially yeah, you going out of state to so many different states and probably seeing so many different players from
mhm.
so many talented players around, let's say the South and the Midwest. Is there
Yeah.
any particular player from last year that stood out to you?
From AAU?
Yes.
Mm.
It's okay if you don't know. I was just
That I
saying, picking your brain.
like I filmed
Yes.
on TNBA or any team I filmed?
Any team. Any team.
Wow, that's a good question. I don't know. I'd really have to look back. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I filmed a lot of good players last year. Hoof. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of one.
Hey, no worries, man. Just thought I'd pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, talk about this past year. I mean, you did some stuff for Garfield Heights that they're a team that won the LEL, made a run all the way to regionals. How was that like filming for those guys and filming for Sonny Johnson, who's run probably one of the top programs in Northeast Ohio.
So I'd say that this was the best experience I've ever had. I had I had the best time with Garfield. It's funny how it started too. It was at the it was at the Cleveland Heights Invitational. Uh that was when Garfield played Euclid for their it was like their third game. So I'm sitting on the baseline, and Sonny was talking to, like Chris and Tommy and all the filmers that were there. And I didn't know him, he didn't know me, and he came up and kind of just introduced himself to me. And right from there, he liked my work and wanted to work with me right off the rip. And it was like, I was like, dang, like this could be a moment that I could like finally take off and like do the things I wanted to. And it was great. And then from there, the amount of connections that he like helped me get with is just crazy. Like it really, I is literally went from like 0 to 100. Like I didn't know like any big media outlets. I didn't know any, like, like the slam, the balls life, the high level elite mixes. Like I didn't know any of them until I met Sonny. And it was perfect. It worked so well because it was great for him to, like Marcus is a great, I mean, Marcus is a great player. He's ranked like 12 on ESPN. And it was great because all the media outlets, they would, they want film of him. And it was perfect because I was there to cover every game of that, and being able to work with, those outlets, and being able to film all these games, man, it was amazing. I loved it. And traveling down to Toledo for that playoff game, man, even though they lost, man, that was sweet. Like I had so much fun doing that.
I bet, man, because it's just seeing that rise. Just you went from, I believe, around 2 or 3K to
Yeah,
16, 17K in like
yeah. I'm
a
at
month and a half.
yeah, I'm at 17.5K as of right now.
Wow.
I At the start of the season, I wasn't even at 2,000. And I remember I was talking to Marcus when I hit 2,000. We were on the bus going to fly into the hoops down in Dayton, Ohio to play Faith Family. This was in December or January. I don't really remember.
The
It's kind of,
final hoop was January.
yeah, like mid-season. So I remember we were on the bus, and that's exactly when I hit 2K. And now I'm at 17.5, which is it's amazing.
What would you say has been your favorite part about covering basketball, like especially with the rise in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, so my favorite part about basketball is honestly the traveling, like like we went to Columbus, we went to Toledo, we went to Dayton, we went to Akron. Like we went to a lot of different we pretty much covered Ohio. I mean, we went to a lot of different places, and it was great. Like the hotels were fun, being able to capture all the players there, just doing fun stuff. Like, man, it was awesome. That was my favorite part.
Nice. Is there like any kind of like a future like documentary style in the
So
work?
it's kind of funny. I made a Dayton documentary of the Dayton trip that we took to fly into the hoop. And as I go to upload it, my computer crashed, and my file of that got deleted. And
Wow.
it took me like 4 days to make. I was so mad that when it didn't work. So then when I tried to redo it again, basically it was just saying like I can't basically do it just because of the amount of like files there are. So I'm gonna look into it, see what I can do to see if I can drop like a season one, because I have so many clips, but I'm definitely gonna see what I can do with that.
Or maybe something episode by episode, providing
Yeah,
some teasers or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
That's nice. Any creators that you look up to, that you follow, that you say that probably influenced your style?
Oh my gosh, there's forget anyone, but definitely Chris. Chris, I looked up to him a lot when I first started. That was really that was really like my like main dude who like kind of like I because I remember I went live with him one day, and I'm like, dang, I'm really talking to courtside Chris. Like back when he was courtside Chris, I'm like, dang, I'm really talking to courtside Chris right now. And now, like, he's like my guy. It's crazy. And I look up to him. Tommy, he's a great dude. He helped me a lot too. I mean, Third Coast, Next Gen, like all the good Cleveland dudes are. I mean, they're all great. But like worldwide, Nathan Perk Ball's Life is his Instagram. He really, really, really has helped me too a lot. We work together at the NEO event, and he really helped me. I remember I introduced myself to him when Garfield played Warrensville, and I look up to his work is amazing. He's a really good dude. I look up to him a lot. Are you familiar with like Nick in the Cut?
No,
He
I'm not.
he does a lot of he kind of stopped doing documentaries, but he dropped a lot of documentaries on like Jared McCain and all of them. I like him a lot. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I can think of. There's a lot of good filmers at Courtside Reese has helped me a lot. He's up in Michigan. But a lot of filmers like those. I can't think of any more, but
No
they'll
worries,
help
because
me.
there's probably a lot.
Yeah, if I'm forgetting anyone, like please, like I'm thinking about you.
Funny story, me and Perk at one point, and he told me this when we were filming a game there. Apparently, me and him were neighbors at one point. I
Like
didn't know that.
house neighbors?
Yes, we apparently were neighbors at one point.
Really?
Yeah. This
That,
was like about I didn't get into video stuff about a couple years and about until a couple years after, but I
mhm.
guess me and him were neighbors at one point.
That's a small.
Yeah. Yep. I guess and he does a lot of good work and
Yeah, yeah. Perks all over the place. He's in a different state every week.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And besides basketball, like what are sports do you shoot? Where sports do you shoot or where are you interested in shooting?
Yeah, so I did football this past year. I don't know. I didn't do extend like how basketball, how I'm all over the place. I didn't do that this year for that. I just kind of stuck with Riverside. I didn't film every game. Like a lot of the games I sit in the student section. I kind of split it. Like one week I'd film, one week I won. Football's not football is definitely my second favorite sport to film, but I'm not a huge fan of it either. Like I can film it. It's just like I filmed Eds versus Ignatius actually. That one was really fun. I had a lot of fun filming that game. But I don't have that much fun filming any other games. Like it's fun, I like dropping the content, but what I think I need to start getting into is I did a lot of football like mixtapes and everything.
Mm,
And I used to do that for basketball, but I swapped over to like the raw highlights with like the covers. And I think I want to do that for football. If I'm gonna do football, I think I'm gonna start doing like kind of like just recap of raw highlights because I like that a lot more than doing the mixtape aspect.
gotcha. And especially football, it could be 80 one week and
And
maybe
it
40 a couple weeks.
yeah, could be like 0 to 3, and then it's like, well, then what do you do?
It's honestly, it's football is we're in a football crazy state. Ohio's a football crazy state, and you know, it's not for the faint of heart. I will say that it's not
Mhm.
for the faint of heart. Outside of creating, like, what do you do? Like, what hobbies do you have outside of that?
Uh, so like I like still playing basketball. I play for like a little rec league up here, and it's just like full of my friends, and we just kind of like have fun doing that. I hang out with my friends a lot. Like I'm always just with them right now. I'm always hanging out with friends. Obviously like I like movies, TV shows, like all that type of stuff. I don't really do too much besides, filming and just hanging out with friends. Like that's pretty much what I do.
Gotcha. Because I know filming is definitely not the easiest in the world. Because
Oh,
you get back from a game, especially you're going from, say, for instance, Garfield to Painesville. That's probably 50 minutes, 45, 50
oh
minutes.
yeah. It's
And
like
then
four.
you gotta put in your case, you gotta put the stuff together, and then
Exactly.
you gotta go to school and do your homework and stuff like
School's another thing that's really hard for me to like get into because like a busy night for high school will involve me going to school at 7 a.m. and then me going straight to Garfield at 4, hopping on the bus, going to the game, then from the game coming back home, not getting home to 11, dropping the video at 12, and then going to bed and having to wake up at 7 again.
Oh yeah, because it's not easy, like, especially, like, it's a microwave society, so to say, like, the people, like, especially if it's, like was, like, a good game or you're shooting content of a really great player team, they're gonna want that highlight, like, ASAP.
Exactly.
That's why, for instance, it's not too odd to see someone being up till 1, 2, 3 in the morning dropping some dropping some content because like what they see the finished product. They don't see the editing, the
Yeah.
stuff that gets edited out.
Yep.
So I definitely salute any video editor out there who's especially you go home, especially if you work a 9 to 5 or you go
Yeah.
to school or
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah. So what are your future plans with this? I know you've got a lot of time ahead of you.
Yeah. So I definitely want to do this full time. It's very hard to do. I mean, it is a very tough job to do full time. Not a lot of people are able to do it full time. But I did start young, and I do hope that by the time I get older, like I can do it full time. If not, it's not the end of the world. I'll still be doing this. But obviously, like you said, I'll be working like a different job on top of then doing this at the night. But I always thought I kind of want to be a cop. Like I always kind of just wanted to, I kind of want to just be a cop. And I think if I can't be filming full time like I would like to do, then I think I think I might be a cop or something like that, and then do filming, like work, do a shift at 10, like 9 to 5, and then go film, do my filming after. But Tony, the goal is to do filming full time.
Gotcha. And you are definitely on your way, especially with the fire content you've been putting out. And
Thank you.
no problem. A couple more things before we wrap up. What would you say to any aspiring content creator out there that's picking up the camera for the first time and they're hearing this? What would you say to them for anyone who wants to get started?
Yeah, uh, I'd say ask questions, like, or just talk, like introduce yourself, like I it helped me a lot by just being able like I can talk to people pretty easily. I don't really get nervous going up and like introducing myself. So I'd say that's a good an advantage I have. But even if you're a bit scared, always go for it because 90% of now there are some people who are a little bit, but 90% of the time, if you just go up and introduce yourself to another cameraman, like you don't even know what other worlds it could take you in. Like being able to go up and just introduce yourself and ask questions and like and all that type of, and even if you're just doing it on the phone, like I've had I know for me example, I constantly was blowing up Chris's phone, constantly asking him for questions. I was texting courtside Reese up in Michigan. I was texting him questions all the time about stuff. But yeah, like Chris, like Tommy, Chris, like I remember when I first started, I was texting them every day about something like university, like all of them. I've been texting about questions, and it's just like I'd say that's the number one thing to do because you don't know where it could take you. Just just a simple question will like even if you need help with little things, like ask me, or if I don't know, I'll tell you who to ask or stuff like that. It's like just be like just go up and just engage, and it's the best way. It's the best way to learn this game and learn the ropes of it.
Absolutely. And I remember when I first met Newt, like I can agree attest to 100%. When I first met Newt Third Coast Hoops, this was years ago before I started filming. I did stuff for Cleveland.com. I don't think I really talked to Newt or TJ much, but as I started growing and seeing them at games, just getting to pick guys like Newt's mind and Lamar's mind and even Tommy's mind and Chris's.
Yeah.
That even myself, I can learn a lot from guys like yourself. I can learn the different types of content people like and stuff like that. And so basically, as much as you guys have learned from us, I've got to say I've learned from you as well.
Yeah, sure. And it's like I don't think I'd be where I'm at if I didn't ask, if I didn't introduce, like because Yeah, it can be scary going up to, some big time, guy with a lot of following, but a lot of the time people are humble and nice about it and will help you. Like Chris, Chris and Tom, all of them, like they help me, and it's like I'm really grateful for it, and it's perfect. It's just the best way. And if you have questions too, just about how to start or what camera you think you should get, or what, like what editing software is good, you could always ask content creators like me or anyone, and if they don't respond, you could always just look it up and stuff like that. It's it's just there's so many ways like in this game that you can tackle things you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't know something and you want help with something, always contact me or contact someone and I could help you.
That's great advice, man. And I forgot to ask this. What was your favorite game that you've covered so far? If you had to pick one game that you've covered throughout your video career to this date, what was your favorite game and why?
Dang, I gotta
You know,
think about.
every creator has one. Every creator has at least one.
I have three right now that I could name, but I'm singling them out real quick. I think I gotta go with Garfield and Faith Family at Flying to the Hoop.
Hmm?
I think
Why?
that was because that was a sweet gym. One, the gym was immaculate. I love the gym. You got to have a good gym to have a good game. You know what I'm saying? Two, the game went into double overtime. Three, Marcus Johnson dropped 40 points.
Wow.
Four, Garfield got the dub. Dayton. So it was great experience. Like the gym, the atmosphere was great. I mean, that perk was there. Couple dudes from Slam were there. Everyone was there, and it was
70 was there probably.
yep, yeah, everybody was there, and it was just like, dude, it was perfect. Like it was exactly like that. Being able to watch a guy from Overtime was there. One of my guys, Ethan, he was there, and it was like we were making predictions. We were like engaged in the game so much, and it was great to just like be able to watch it. Like our hearts were like, because like you don't know what's gonna happen. It's like you want Garfield to win, so it's like it was just that was a great game. And if I had to pick one right behind that, I think it'd be Garfield versus Richmond. Two
I've
Gar
heard some good things about that one.
two Garfield games, but that's just like that Garfield Richmond game. It was packed. It was a great game, and it was just the crowd. That game, the crowd showed up. Like it was like the music, the everything about that game was just it was perfect. It was perfect.
I imagine two heavyweights duking it out in Northeast Ohio.
NEO Youth Elite. I know that wasn't a game, but that was also really fun too.
Oh, yeah, some of the top players in
Oh,
28, 29, 30 class.
yep,
Gonna be the next stars.
exactly. I saw some talent there, some legit talent.
Same. I covered it a little bit. I was helping out a
Yeah,
buddy.
straight. There's a lot of talented players out there.
And one of the best things about the scene, it's like I'm kind of hoping that excitement returns because nowadays I've gone to some games where I've seen some really really good teams play, and you see the gym that's like maybe half or a quarter full, and I'm like, these kids are putting in this work, and
Yeah,
where is everybody? I
yeah,
mean, I'm not expecting a full house every night, but
yeah,
back in the day, if you see some of like Third Coast highlights and a lot of highlights from back in the day, you had some packed gyms.
yeah.
You had fans into it from start to finish. I think COVID had a big effect on that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I didn't film before COVID, but I know what you're talking about with the atmosphere wise. Because I remember when I was a kid, when our school would do good, grandparents, alumni, everyone showed up. Now it's like there's not always that anymore.
Yeah, I'm hoping that excitement like returns more to
Yeah,
the area because that's
I
good for the city.
I think by time it will.
Yep, and with you guys putting out the content, with us putting the content out,
Mm.
it shouldn't be a problem.
No, yeah, exactly.
And last but not least, before we wrap up, where can people follow your work at?
Okay, so my Instagram is it's t.k.productions with a Z. That's Instagram's my main app. That's where I kind of post. That's where you see. That's where you'll see everything first. I'm starting to maneuver a little bit over YouTube to YouTube more. That's my same exact name. And TikTok is I also post a little bit on, trying to get on that a little bit more. Hopefully it doesn't get banned because then I'm only gonna be down Instagram. But TikTok is the same exact name. They're all t.k.productions with a Z.
Tommy, it was great to talk to you, man.
Yeah, it was
And
great.
thank you for coming on. We finally got to do this.
I'm glad we were able to do it.
Yep. And for those of you guys out there, you can check out Tapped In with Tony on YouTube, on Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. So thank you all for tuning in and see you guys next time.